Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all my witches, warlocks, writers, and wanderers. I am KibbyRose. I am Authortubes, lesbian psychic stoner. It is Wednesday, March 12th, and I am here to entertain you with some witchy things, some horoscopy things, and some current event rants. So let me roll the opener and we can get on with it. Oh, and I forgot about the horoscopes, huh? We're not perfect around here. You know, we're professionals. All right, so just a little quick rundown for anybody who's new here and for anybody who's wondering what topics we're going to cover this session. For the first personal rants, we're going to be covering, I have no personal rants. I have a lot of stuff we're going to be covering. So we're going to actually go straight into planet influences and discuss Friday's full moon and the lunar eclipse, the blood lunar eclipse that's going to be occurring. And then we have a 10-minute sprint. And then after that, we're going to do current event rants with a 20-minute sprint. Then we're going to probably split the current event rants into two, depending on how long it goes. And then we're going to do horoscopes and readings with some, after a 20-minute sprint, after we split up the current event rants. I do want to do some tarot card pulls from some of the current events that are going on, because some of you really kind of went a little crazy when I said you could send me questions through Facebook. So we're going to cover that. And yeah, that's how we roll around here. So just so you know, for anybody who is new, the whole reason that we do 20-minute sprints and 10-minute sprints is A, so I can get some work done on the back end, and B, so that any of my clients and students that are watching can do their work, because I do kind of intertwine all of it. So we've got some crazy energies going on, guys, and I'm just going to warn you, Wednesday is going to be a bad day for most people. So there's your precursor in that. However, when it comes to the full moon, which we do have coming Friday, normally full moons are really good moons. Okay. However, because of the energies that we have going on, because of the lunar eclipse that happens to be a blood lunar eclipse, energies are going to be a little bit more quantum, as the best way to put it. So Friday's full moon. For those of you that are doing ritual work, here's your detailed information. It's on the 14th. Oh, I forgot to get you the core number. So hold on. Let me do the core number real quick. Give me you. So, and since I'm doing this real quick online, anybody who's curious on how to get the core number, what you do is you take the number of the date plus the number of, or the number of the month plus the number of the date. And since the 14th today, or the 12th today, it'd be since the full moon is on the 14th, it would be 1 and 4. It's easier to put it down in my head than to actually type it out. And then 2, 2, and 5 because of the year. And then we have 17, 7 plus 1 is 8. So the core, and then the core number of 8 is 4. 4 and 2 are going to be your core numbers for any ritual work. So for all my students that need to know that, it's called the blood moon, and it's going to be in the sign of Virgo. It's going to happen on Friday at 2:55 a.m. The color is pink, and the lunar, because we have the lunar eclipse as well, it's going to be red coloring as well. It's for rebirth and regrowth type spell work. The moon, the name of the moon comes from the old agricultural traditions. As the ground begins to thaw, the earth begins to ripen, the soil signaling the start of the planting season. The natural cycle represents new beginnings in the turn of the seasons, making it an ideal time to set intentions for growth and rebirth. Okay, so the blood moon eclipse influences. We've got energetic effects can occur 1 to 2 days beforehand, and we're going to see, I already feel the effects of it, and these things can come in both negative and positive wise. So just know if you're feeling that extra burst of energy, along with the Schumann resonance increasing, we also have a level of stuff going on with solar eruptions and now the influence of the blood moon. Okay, so due to the potent energy released by the eclipse, emotions can be heightened and mishaps can happen more easily. Quantum opportunities to cleanse your emotional waters by cleansing deep-seated wounds, moving beyond old pains by transitioning your negative patterns. And guys, with the sextiles and the trends that we have, or the conjunctions that we have coming up, deep-seated emotional issues definitely is one of the issues people are going to be dealing with on Wednesdays. Okay, so good time to eliminate anything you've outgrown is a great idea. So any of you that are trying to move past those old relationships, move on from an old job, dust off the old of last year to kind of keep going and renew for this year, this is the moment. This lunar eclipse is going to be a great time to really do a ritual to let things go. Binding of the past is a good ritual to do for this lunar eclipse. Okay. Moving beyond old pains by transitioning from your negative patterns. Good time to eliminate anything you've outgrown. Or yeah, we already covered that. Light sacred herbs such as sage, Palo Santo, or rosemary, or sacred incense such as frankincense, copal, or dragon's blood for best to attune best with the energies. While the smoke is spreading, take a moment to inhale the positive energies and exhale the negative energies. Finish the process by reciting a prayer or a mantra. The celestial event is peaceful and gives us a momentum for a moment of introspection. The only normally, I agree with that statement. However, we all know how the energies are going on this year. Okay, it doesn't take a psychic to see that things are crazy right now. I'm just going to say that, like, you don't need to be attuned with any sort of energies to be able to see that things are a bit chaotic right now. Okay. That's common sense. But just know that the whole reason that Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays are going to be bad, or Friday is going to be bad for most people, is because this introspective, deep-seated, deep-rooted, bubbling to the service type energy is not going to be the most conducive for a lot of people who are very inclined to create ruckus and chaos, I guess is the best way to say it. For anybody who was watching me on TikTok, you saw there was some horoscopes that I was doing today. When reading their chart and doing my meditations, I was struggling on how to say, basically, you're going to be an ego-centered narcissist. And I had to figure out the wording on how to say it politely, because unfortunately it's just the energies. It's just what's in your chart. And this is literally one of those times when, as a psychic, you're going to be like, don't shoot the messenger, please. It's the cards. Blame the energies. We just give the message. We're sorry. Okay. So in that regards, when it comes to ritual work this Friday for this full moon, you're going to want to do the kind of basically banishing and binding of the past, binding and releasing of the negative energy, and then putting positive momentum towards rebirth, regrowth, and positive initiatives. That's why also you're going to see in the charts, there's a lot of focus on long-term plans. This weekend is going to have really good momentum and energy to be able to finite, organize, and tune, and make sure that you're going to be happy. Because having those long-term plans are great, right? However, they're not so great if the plan has a lot of stress on us. So we want to make sure that we're equally balancing out both the productivity, the happiness, and the rest period when it comes to our long-term plan, right? Okay, so for my clients, I'm going to pull up this because we're going to put on our 10-minute timer. For my clients, what I want you to do is I want you to pull out your book, and I want you to kind of create, where is it? Where is it? This thing. Because even though they sent us this in WitchCasket for herbs, this is a great ritual cheat sheet. So use your ritual cheat sheet, write down everything that's going on, and for this ritual, what intention you want to do, what candles you're going to grab, what stones you're going to grab, what herbs you're going to place on your altar, how are you going to set up your altar. And I will see you guys in 10 minutes. And after this, we are going to get straight into current events and doing card pulls for that stuff, because guys, yeah, I have so much to say regarding so many questions you sent me. So 10 minutes on the clock. All right, that's the end of that sprint. And I'm just going to grab this because it fell as I was grabbing something out of my drawer. Okay, so I was able to get a little bit done on that sprint. I hope you were too. Now we're going to get into a little bit of warnings, rants, and maybe some card pulls. Okay, so real quick, just so pull this over here, just so you guys are aware of where I am getting out these energy overviews from, or these feelings, everything else. So let me explain this better. The way I kind of do this is I go over the energy influences that are currently affecting us right now as a planet due to other planets. And then I go over things that are happening in Hollywood and weather things, solar energy, everything else, and tie in how it all influences each other. So we're going to start a little bit. First, I want to give out my weather warnings because that has more just to do with predictions than anything else. If you've listened to my past live streams, I've given a lot of warnings about how the weather is going to be, it's going to continue being extreme for the rest of the summer. My angels have already brought up that it's going to be one of the worst hurricane seasons we've ever had on record. The weather is going to be tumultuous. It's going to test us pretty much. Not only are the energies of the other planets testing us, but Mother Nature is testing us as well. We're getting bombarded from all angles, guys. And if you haven't been a good person up until this point, it's going to be very hard for you to navigate and get through these energies. So my angels keep saying that all energies, including weather, will have a lull sometime near May, and then a double down into June. And they're referencing that the lull is going to come because of the fact that we're being judged right now by the major planets with this lunar eclipse. And after we get judged, and I saw this when I was doing horoscopes, and it was kind of one of those things where I was like, are you kidding me? Evidently, this change, this judgment has been occurring since September of 2024. The shift is going to continue until February of 2027. However, we are at the 6-month mark from when we started. Always at a 6-month mark, whether you're in business or finance or personal or recovery or whatever else, you always do a check-in. That's pretty much what's happening right now. And since we are in this planetary effect where literally all the planets are lining up in our night sky like a parade, we're getting judged. And it's a crazy time, guys, especially with Pluto being in an Aquarius. It's a big time. So they're referencing that after this judge, there's going to be a lull before the hammer comes down in June. Last ditch effort, guys. I said angels have been doing this for the last 3 months. They're giving you a last ditch effort to get yourself on track and get everything in gear before we get the hammer down in June. And then whatever, because June is literally supposed to flip it. If you think the change had already happened, the change actually happens. The total flip of things. We've started flipping, but the full flip doesn't happen until June. So just be aware that you can blame the sun's solar activity influences and the planets. You can just literally, it's just the way things are lining up right now. And this is kind of what the Mayans were warning us about. Okay. Forecasters are not kidding about this weekend either. Everyone needs to be aware. It will be extremely bad. When it comes to this storm that will be hitting the lower 40, as I like to call it, which is Louisiana all the way through to Florida up into North Carolina. They're basically saying a swath of area from the middle of the states on up is going to be affected. And it's going to be tornadoes. It's going to be high winds. It's going to be and the dry line, you guys, the dry line that they're showing in all of the forecasts is a dry line that tornado chasers die for. So, or that's a bad way of putting that. Live for. That's a better way of putting it. They live for this kind of dry line. It's kind of funny because when I was seeing this, in the weather, my angels actually flashed me that little scene from Twister where they're prepping to go on, and he's like, oh wow, look at that dry line, and they're all impressed by it. So just be aware. I already told you about the planetary parade of judgment. So that's kind of what's coming on when it comes to the weather and just basic predictions. Now, just to go over the planetary influences so you guys have it fresh in your mind. So when I start gabbling on about the Hollywood stuff, you will kind of have that in the back of your head. So I'm going to drag this over here so it doesn't look like I'm talking off to the side. So we've got sensitive and compassion interactions with subtle emotions in deep depth with Sun in Pisces, and also a better connection to the divine. The moon in Virgo, strong desire for flawlessness and perfectionism. This is one thing that is influencing a lot. If you're feeling like you're focusing on yourself a lot and like all of your flaws are coming into focus, you can blame Virgo moons. P.S. This is why I always say I hate Virgo moons. By the way, if you're OCD and a perfectionist like me, like the double down is just horrific. Okay. Extraordinary need to be right, immense pressure on oneself, analytical and practical emotions of others. Okay. And that's moon in Virgo. Mercury in Aries, extremely active mental energies, expression of thoughts in dynamic ways, a stronger ability to argue, keen powers and intellect. Venus in Aries, remember we are in retrograde with Aries until April 12th. Impulsive and strong urges in love, bolder in romance with chances to make the move and enjoy the chase, and potentially to be in hasty in habits. Remember, guys, negative aspects of these things, okay? So remember, you're going to be irritable and unfocused when it comes to conversations. You're going to be prone to misunderstandings and conflicts when it comes to the expressions of thoughts or the to make the move and enjoy the chase. You're going to experience negative health issues like depression and anxiety because of the potential to be hasty in your habits. So just remember, Venus retrograde does throw the curveball when it comes. Normally, Venus is a great energy source, not at the moment, okay? Mars in Cancer, focus on domestic and emotional security, greater urgency to protect loved ones, and hypersensitivity. And there is a lot that comes in with Mars in Cancer this week, you guys, so just be aware. Jupiter in Gemini with an opportunity for good fortune, stimulation and new experiences, curious with energies. Saturn in Pisces, pull to reflect on past experiences, one with this oneness with the divine. Uranus and Taurus, sudden changes in finance, innovative energies and practical application. Neptune and Pisces, greater emphasis on all things mastical. That is mystical and magical combined into one word. Mystical and magical imaginations. Spirituality will be embraced collectively. Pluto and Aquarius. Significant changes in humanity that begin with sudden endings. Level of progression will be extraordinary. And I'm going to pop in and say hi to everybody because I don't know if everybody really did just comment all at once, but I just got inundated with that. So first I'm going to say hi to Kirby. It's nice to see you. You are new for us, but welcome. Hello to my Cora. Hi everyone. I'm in and out and it's dinner time, then kids bedtime. Well, hello and welcome thank you for popping in, at least saying hi. To my Sandra. Hello, my Sandy. Hello. Thank you guys for coming in and commenting. I really appreciate it. And then now I'm going to go over. So the reason that I'm adding in the aspects again is because, as I said on Monday, with the energies that are coming in when I was doing my meditating, I realized there was a lot. The sextiles are they're throwing us a curveball along. It's like the lunar eclipse and this full moon is emphasizing the sextiles and the conjunctions of the planets with the sun. And yeah, so I'm going to go over those real quick and then gossip time with the Hollywood things. Okay. And I'll answer all the Facebook questions that I got flooded with. Okay. So Sun in conjunction with Saturn causes a shining light on responsibilities, reality check leading to acceptance of duties and responsibilities. Sun sextile with Uranus, revolutionary enlightenment. An example of this is how Zelensky in Ukraine just decided to go ahead and agree to the peace deal. Just there's an example for you. It's also expressed in unique and progressive ways. Mercury conjunction with Venus, conversations and thoughts on romance and intimate art and finances. Saturn sextile with Uranus, global support to break free from old traditions, working with authority to innovate for a better future. So first of all, Saturn, the sextiles have definitely been affecting the negotiations of peace over on the other side because revolutionary enlightenment and working with authority to innovate for a better future. You can't get like more dead center with that. Oh, and yes, Yes. And it just so happens that Mercury goes retrograde on the 14th. Honestly, if I was in contact with any of the Disney execs, I would have told them, do not launch it on March 21st. You will have Venus and Mercury both in retrograde at that time. And if you want to talk about a complete disaster of an S show because of how Rachel Zegler's mouth has already screwed things up, Mercury in retrograde literally throws a wrench in our communications. Literally. Might as well take an axe to it straight up. And with the way the energies are going right now, like, you are going to expose your true self in conversations when Mercury goes retrograde, which, if you haven't noticed, Cora, is one of the comments that I'm going to bring up soon. That's a perfect segue. Thank you for a perfect segue. So if you haven't noticed, Disney has recently started responding pretty much to the energies. Well, first of all, if they were smart, they'd actually be responding to the energies of the planets, but they actually are responding to the energies of the people now. Because if you have noticed, Disney only has 9 more days to launch Snow White. I have never seen a movie held so discreetly in the shadows of their launch than any other movie. And I think it's because, honestly, somebody somewhere knows Rachel Zegler's mouth is the problem. And they have pulled back on every single press tour for Zegler. And the only country so far that she's done a press tour in is the one country that will kind of curb their interviewers to make sure that they aren't extraordinary or what is it? Bitmongering. They're going to hold Zegler as far away from any microphone here in America that they can. And it's simply because Mercury is going to go into retrograde, and they know that her communication has been so poor as it is that if they allow her to speak during Mercury retrograde, it's going to be 10 times worse. So they're way too late on damage control. Truthfully, here's the thing. Okay. And I'm going to say this about Disney because there's a lot going on. Okay. From the shift with Kathleen Kennedy, which I saw coming, because truthfully, Disney's got to do something. They're too big of a company to fail completely. However, they tried when Universal was purchased by Comcast and got Comcast backing. Disney almost decided, I don't know who it was in the Disney execs that thought it would be a bright idea to try to become Comcast. Well, you can't become that big of a company without the right strategy, strategic players in place as is. And not only that, but you've got to be the type of company that when extreme ideals start influencing the public, that maybe you don't run so completely far with them. The wounded healer, the Chiron in Aries, is definitely Disney right now. Acknowledgement of concealed traumas, opportunity for growth, and deep understanding. And we'll see what happens, because somebody also asked me, one of the questions that I had from Facebook, where is it? Is Dana going to be a good choice? Where are you? Come here. Where are you? Where is my Disney notes? Where'd my Disney notes go? Snow White UK premiere, heavily filtered. They asked me how Disney stock is going to do, and if Dana is going to help with the stock situation. And I wanted to do a card pull on this. This is one of those things I wanted to do a card pull on, because I don't get good feels from it. I don't see really anything good coming. From what I'm seeing, I'm going to say this before I start shuffling the cards, because somebody accused me of infiltrating the cards because I was talking as I was shuffling them. I keep getting this feeling that the only way that Disney is going to work in the end is if they find a 2-person group party that can do the knockdown, drag out fights that Walt and his brother used to do, where Walt handled the imagination and his brother handled the finance. And, I see these kind of fights where literally they were cussing at each other like throwing shoes, because you know, but they would come to a resolution in the end. It was just that they were so passionate. So will Disney stock get better if Dana is put into position? So let's shuffle these and find out, shall we? Okay, so we've got the Queen of Coins. We got the Princess of Coins in reverse. And then we've got the Nine of Swords. And I'm going to check this one real quick because it looks like past, present, past, they had the bag. They had the dollar. Now they're losing everything. It's all falling apart. And I just want to double check the Nine of Swords. And this is a new book. So I need to figure out how and where things are. Hold on. Cups, swords, there you are. 10. Princess. So you're going backwards. There we go. Okay. Nine of Swords. Overwhelmed by options as you overanalyze all the possibilities, overlook some grim. For better or for worse, you must reach the heart of the matter surrounding the anxieties. Okay, we're going to pull one more card because basically they're saying that they're overwhelmed with choices and anxieties and they need to choose the right way. Remember to step away once in a while. No problem can be solved by obsession. So evidently somebody's obsessing too much. So, oh, and then we've got the Princess of Swords next, which is, you know what? I think Dana is the Princess of Swords because this is a perceptive person who is both courageous and careful. There's tensions between freedom and groundedness. So to answer God, I should have put a name with it. That person's question, because I got so many, about whether Dana is going to be good for stock predictions for Disney. I'm seeing that it's going to be a fair and balanced perspective. Maybe Dana's going to come in and do to Disney what Elon is doing with Doge in our government. Maybe he'll come in and cut up, clean up, cut out everything else. They just announced pulling her from SNL. They needed to do damage control. They really did. Somebody woke up, and I'll admit this because I even felt it when things started shifting. Somebody woke up, and somebody started seeing things for what they were. I mean, maybe it was the forecasting of the predictions. Maybe the stockholders finally got loud enough and started throwing a hissy fit. But we'll see what happens. But we're seeing good things. So for the next couple of things I want to get into is, first of all, Casey Anthony. As a lesbian, I do not want you supporting me. I did not ask for this. You can keep your mouth shut about our cause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You skedaddle on your little way. And also, do not demand privacy if you decide that you're going to start a TikTok, especially if you're going to use your child's picture as the profile picture. This world, let me tell you something that is probably new to you, and let kind of face the facts. The world doesn't really give a damn. They don't. That's why you have friends. And frankly, with what you've done, I'm sure, yes, there are people that will penance, everything else. However, don't you start advocating for the LGBT community. Please don't. Keep your mouth shut. Go away. Go. You should be working at a grocery store. No offense, but you should be working at as a cashier at a grocery store. That's it. For what you did. And the Roseanne, I just want to let you all know, for the person who asked me about the Roseanne and Tana Trish situation, unfortunately, these ladies are going to be navigated by the moon until we hit Scorpio. It's going to basically be after this full moon the lunar eclipse, that you're going to see any change happen in the forefront of that. We've got three very strong personalities, three very strong ladies who, truthfully, what they need to do is all three of them need to come together and sit down and have a conversation and come to resolution. And it's going to have to be one of those situations where you agree to just disagree. And if you really are good, strong friends, you're going to be able to move on with your friendship and still disagree. I do think there are some apologies that need to be made. I do think there is some accountability that needs to be taken place. And I do think that the emotional ties with this blood moon that's coming up is definitely going to pull at the heartstrings of all three ladies, because when it comes down to it, all three of them, they're lovers, not fighters. And they are allowed to stand up and defend themselves. But yeah, in the end. Rest in peace, Kaylee. Yes. We will never forget. No, not ever, ever. So just know when it comes to the Roseanne and the Tana situation, we're going to be seeing that navigate until the full moon at the end of this month, at the end of this week. The next thing I have is, if the view doesn't get it into their heads that they are on literally a downward spiral with the current projection of things, this most current Dolan Mulvaney situation should speak hundreds of thousands of words to them, because I understand where they're trying to come from in supporting the situation. However, that entire episode was embarrassing. I felt so bad for Dylan. I honestly felt so bad for Dylan. And those ladies should be ashamed of themselves for putting her in that situation, straight up. And this is just a big red flag on how far Disney has fallen. I mean, truthfully, Snow White is bad. But if you actually want a clue on just how bad and just how far Disney has fallen, it's The View. It's The View, ladies. And this breaks my heart, because I was a Sister Act lover. I loved Whoopi Goldberg back in the day. I was a huge fan of Whoopi Goldberg back in the day. I was actually a huge fan back in the day when Barbara Walters was on it. I used to love 60 Minutes. I was one of those strange kids. However, they are literally taking the hard road with Sun in Pisces, or the Moon in Virgo, Mercury in Aries, Venus in Aries, and Mars in Cancer. And I hate to say it, but it already started double downing once Venus went into retrograde. It's going to double down again as soon as Mercury goes into retrograde. So it's going to get crazy. And then in regards to the other card pull I wanted to do, I just saw some recent news, and actually, first of all, I was thrown a question. Then it caught me on the recent news. There is the Jay-Z situation case I thought had been laid to rest. Come to find out, the same possible manipulations that Diddy's crew tried to do behind the scenes, now Jay-Z's crew has done behind the scenes. So from what I can see, there is forward momentum on the Jay-Z situation, and Jay-Z better watch his back, because from what I'm seeing, Beyonce has now been moved to the negative side of karma. I'm wondering why. So this is a card pull I did want to do, because I wasn't entirely sure. So we're going to do a card pull, because we want to find out what is actually going to happen with the whole Jay-Z case. Because I really, yeah, okay. So I'm now hearing not all is what it seems. So we'll have to see. Wow. Very interesting. Okay, so you guys are like, what? So we've got the Magician in reverse. Then we've got the Moon. Then we've got the Five of Wands. Then we've got the Four of Swords. Then we've got the Queen of Discs. So This one I already knew, because I already knew things weren't as they seemed. However, this is very interesting. So, you know what the moon is? Give me the Queen of Discs, because that's going to be the Queen of Pentacles, because that's going to be the one that gives me the most insight regarding the end of this situation. Hello. And the only reason I'm using the book is because these cards are different than ones I'm used to using, such as Queen and Princess. So, the Queen of Discs. Ooh. So you're going to need to tend the garden of your emotional and physical needs. Domain, self-love and care. Find the beauty and comfort around you. This is lead to gentle and steadfast growth that can sometimes appear too slow from the outside. Calm and centered. Okay, 4 of Swords. So evidently they're going to have to do some self-soothing. And the 4 of Swords is defiance, I believe. Ceasefire. Yep. Different perspective or point views are considered and accepted. This is a card of intellectual diversity. There's going to be, so evidently there's some, I hate to say it, but Jay-Z is wrong in this situation. Jay-Z is going to have to take accountability for something he did. And then he's going to have to self-care and self-soothe after this is all said and done, and find comfort in his personal area. So there's something going, like, that's just disappointment right there. You know, I expected it of a certain person whose name starts with a D. I was really hoping that Beyonce had, like, this more comes down to, I thought Beyonce had better sight. But there is a prediction that my angels made not too long ago in regards to a party that they threw that was now taking center stage instead of a other party, because that person is no longer publicly available, if you get what I mean. So that is very interesting, because I wasn't expecting that. So we'll have to see what happens there. And the other thing I'm going to mention before we jump into, because we're going to split this into 2 because I have quite a few to cover after this. The only other comment that I want to make for those of you that are seeing it, Chiron and Aries is really affecting a lot of just everyday people. The attacks on Tesla, to me, are the Democrats' version of January 6th. So for anybody who's listening, I just want to give that perspective. Do I think you need to agree with me? No, absolutely not. However, it's just a thought, a perspective that I have, is that a lot of what's going on, I don't know. No matter who is in office, A, respect the position, and B, don't incite violence within your own country. Like, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. But anyway, we have a lot of energies. And so just so you know, guys, the whole reason that we're having this whole positive and negative headbutt is literally because the planets are divided. You have the moon, the Mercury, Venus, and Mars influencing one half. And then you have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and the Chiron influencing the other half. And that's why we're having this extreme push-pull type thing. So we're going to switch this around. I'm going to mute this real quick while I add it to the studio. We're going to pause because it always does that. All right. So 20 minutes on the clock. You have 20. So I would use this time, if I were you, to see, if you're my students, to go over, literally go to YouTube, pull up the home tab, and go just over. Don't even click into any of the videos. Just go over the videos and see where you can identify the different placements of the planets just by video titles. And I think you'll be surprised at how easy it is right now to actually be able to do this. And I highly recommend, normally I don't recommend like go to social media and look. However, right now, it's so black and white, it's so night and day that you could literally, I think it's going to be very easy for even my newer students to be able to go through and just pick up where the energies are and what's influencing what. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, and I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. All right. And that's the end of that sprint for now. Okay, so we are going to go over a couple more things regarding the Hollywood stuff that I do want to rant on a little bit. But first, Amy and Emma, thank you for sending me the reminders for me to do your poll. Because, yeah, I forgot. I had set it up with some people where they paid me a monthly fee, and I'm doing a reading every stream for them. So forgive me. This is why I always tell my clients, just remind me. I got so much going on. You got to remind me sometimes. So, Amy, in regards to the business. And you just love these cards, but I get it because they're so attuned to you. Okay. I swear we got this one already, and now it's in reverse. I swear this was the card on Amy on your last stream. That I think this was the last card on your last stream, and this is now the first card on this stream. I'll have to go back. You'll have to either tell me or I'll have to go back and look. So you've got Crystal Cola, but in reverse. And I swear this was the card you had last stream at the end. But you have Bronzonite as the next one, and then Diamond in reverse. I've never pulled this card ever with this deck. So we're going to go over this real quick. Speaking your truth, heartfelt communication, right speech. This is the last card. What did you do? Because now this is reversed, and you're supposed to speak the truth, and you're supposed to open your heart. You're supposed to speak from the heart. Uh-oh. Okay, well, maybe you're feeling like it didn't do so well. So let's look at 13, because that's your next card. Okay, loyalty, trust, steadfastness, self-respect, trusting the conscious universe has your back. Okay, so that is what's going on. You're feeling like, so you did what we said to do, which, first of all, congratulations. I'm proud of you, Amy. Good job. Second of all, it's in reverse because you're feeling that way, but they're reassuring you that you shouldn't be feeling this way. So you're on the right track. Now let's check Diamond in reverse. And I don't know how Diamond in the rough can still be a good thing. So before we start going into a panic, let's find out. Okay. Okay, so they're referencing that, oh, wow. Okay, so the priceless gift, time, pressure, combined beauty, strength, arises from trials and challenges from the right use of the right power. When reading a little bit more in this, I see that your ability to move hearts is very strong now, even as to maintain unhealthy or healthy boundaries. I'm going to reverse that and say that the whole what is causing you to create unhealthy boundaries right now is the fact that you don't have confidence in what you did. And that is actually creating the world that you're in right now. Your angels are referencing that you need to have confidence that you saying and speaking from your heart really is going to have the outcome that you have. You've really got to stop when it comes to business, Amy. I've told you this several times. You've really got to take your emotions out of it. I know that this is a passion project for you. I know your heart is in it because it's a passion project. I feel the same way about my YouTube, but there's a part of me that reminds myself that, hey, if my YouTube doesn't succeed and it doesn't take off, it doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that that wasn't the right avenue for you to take. Okay. So I feel like I'm going to do an actual poll, and this time I'm going to focus on the board that you addressed instead, because I think your overwhelming anxiety energies is actually what's causing the fluctuation in the read. So you've already done this for me, so let me pull from there. There. Okay. Let's go that way. Okay. Ooh, you got some very opinionatedly strong male energy on this group of people. Damn. Amy, girl, honey, I see why you were intimidated. My hands are shaking. That's an intimidating group. I forgot how intimidating this group of people was. Okay, and it's going to be worse because of the sextiles that we have in place. So on this group, we have some new cards. These are cards I haven't seen for you before. All right, so we have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. You are more than welcome to. Then we have our selenite in reverse, and we have a rhodonite in reverse. Those probably you couldn't even see. There you go. There you go. Okay, so, and I just saw something blink in here, and since somebody was going to ask for a reading as well, let me double check this real quick before we jump into that. And nothing new. Okay, so, oh, that was a voicemail or message. Okay, so 28. See, I think okay. I'm just going to tell you right now before I tell you what the cards is. I don't have a good feeling about this. So we'll see what the cards say. Resolving disputes, diplomacy, restoring harmony, mending fences. Okay, so that was the meeting that y'all had. Okay, so 49 is selenite in reverse. You know what? This actually might not even have an influence of you. This might be out of your control, actually. Let's see what they say. Liquid light, fluidity, flexibility, illuminating clarity, raising your vibrations. Relationship offers us the opportunity to deepen our love and trust, to experience personal transformation, because wanting to make a relationship work can be the key to releasing your benefits. So this in reverse means that, yeah, they're struggling to make this relationship work between you and whatever party is involved in this agreement. But that's the whole reason that we were having this meeting, wasn't it? To try to resolve these issues. I think it's the other party, honey. I really think it's the other party. And I know how much you really wanted this in your heart. Harmony in relationships. And it's in reversed. The first, yeah. It's reversed, and the first line is literally harmony in relationships. So easily connecting with others, generous, reciprocate, discovery hidden talents to share with others. It's the other party, honey. The other party is going to stay steadfast. Amy, wow, I just got goosebumps. Normally, you know me. Normally, I don't recommend this, but you and I might need to do a private angel reading to actually get some clarity, clairvoyance on where to go from here. Because you did everything right. This is just one of those situations where life just sucks. And free will. This is one of those times when they're referencing that you got to blame free will. Oh, that's hard, honey. I'm so sorry. I am feeling the feels for you on that one. I'm trying not to cry. Because I know how much your heart was into that. So, Emma, we're gonna switch into Emma real quick. And then I am going to go over the rest of the Hollywood drama because I'm going to cover Blake Lively, Meghan Markle, Selena Gomez, Johnny Somalia, Justin and Haley, and the Associated Press, because surprisingly somebody wanted me to do a read on the Associated Press. So if you want me to do a read on the Associated Press, I'll look. So let me clear these since these were on Amy's energy. Okay. Emma, we're going to see how well these cards do for you, because these cards are doing really well for me today, and they're vibrating well with me today. So we're going to do your read this way. So Emma, this is on your relationship, current relationship issues. I'm going to try not to reveal too much, but they're referencing a certain kind of love. And it's really hard not to reveal too much without referencing this kind of love. Oh, okay. Emma forewarned, you're probably not going to like this. Or maybe I'm wrong. Wow. You have some power on your side. So we've got Moonstone. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that first part, but it's a granite. And that one. All right, so 53. These cards have been doing really good lately. So charm, charisma, shining and sparkle, being a brilliant beacon of confidence and inspiring others. Yeah, that's definitely you in the relationship, isn't it? Okay, so 37. 37. Intuition, insight, inner wisdom, inner voice, which is exactly, oh wait, we switched those. So no, it's actually intuition, inner insight, wisdom, and inner voice, and then the happiness, which we already knew that because that's we've been working very hard on that. So evidently, good job, congratulations. The reference that is definitely confirmation that you are getting better at your gift. The last one, yeah, you're not gonna like this. Simplification, manageability, organization, one task at a time. I'm just going to leave it there. Again, starting a relationship during Venus retrograde. Not a good idea. All right. So on that note, now that we've had nothing but happy news, right? Jeez. I was really hoping to give like some good, happy, positive readings, but my gosh, it's just one of those times right now, guys. And since we don't have any new payments that came in on any of the sites, we're going to jump right into this stuff. So the rest of my rants on Hollywood stuff. So Justin Bieber, it's more interesting because they asked me to do a reading on him, and when in attuning to do a reading for him, they actually came in more with a message. And for the person that asked, this should confirm both your question and if Justin happens to hear this, I hope it helps. He's doing everything right. He's navigating the things the way he needs to navigate. He's cinching the tight ends exactly as he needs to cinch them in order for him to not lose the flow of financial that he needs to maintain because he has a family. The rug pull is going to be done by Justin, and he's setting himself up perfectly. And even at this point, if it is revealed to whoever's involved that he's doing this to, it's too late. He's in perfect position. So first of all, they come in referencing, Justin, you played that chess game perfectly. You have checkmate the king, and he has no idea yet. And they're so proud of you. They couldn't have done it better. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. The only way to fall at this point is to stop your momentum. You already know this from what I can feel and what I can see. The only way that you can save yourself is to save yourself. And I give you props for doing it. So that answers that question. In regards to the Associated Press, they stop handing them a loaded gun. They are their own worst enemies. They will be their own downfall. They are the reckless child who keeps running headlong into a wall, and repeating the same behaviors, expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So that's everything that comes in when it comes to Associated Press. Not too good of things coming in for the Associated Press, I have to say. They actually, it's kind of interesting because when they showed me the Associated Press, they actually compared it to the shit show that's also known as Johnny Somalia. And what is currently happening with him. And if that is not literally significant changes in humanity, greater emphasis on all things, sudden changes in finances, to pull to reflect on one's past experiences. So there's a lot going on in regards to the Associated Press, and also Johnny Somalia, to whom... If you need an example of anybody who is on the worst side of karma and is going to be the absolute example of look around and find out, I highly recommend watching Johnny Somalia's downfall, because Legal Mind, I believe it is called. I have to double check. Emily D. Baker's not covering it, so I had to go to one of my other more extreme legal commentator guys, and I believe it's Legal Mind that his name is. But they are actually over in Korea right now, watching this whole case go down, and I am one psychic who's smart enough not to go diving into the minds of someone like Johnny. However, I am also at the same time very curious and would love to just have a conversation with him as to like and here's the thing, it's not even feasible to happen, because if you ask him why, he's just going to give you some extreme case. We're not going to get an answer as to why he's doing what he's doing, except for the fact that it's probably for money, until he gets out of jail, which from what I can see, it's kind of funny because when I look where Johnny Somalia is and I look down every path that's available, all I see is bars, 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 just it's like, there's okay. Wow, there's really nowhere you can turn where there's not a set of bars. Okay. So that's my answer to the Johnny Somalia thing. Meghan Markle. I giggle every time with Meghan Markle simply because I remember somebody straight saying to my face that I am too mediocre to ever make it. And I don't know. To me, I'm just kind of giggling because there's, when you talk to certain people in Hollywood, they may not remember you because it's a split second in passing. But as somebody who maybe respected these people, those moments stand, and especially somebody like me who has an eidetic memory, those situations stand out like polarizing aspects in your life. And it's just one of those things that as I saw everything going down with Meghan Markle, there's a part of me that was just like, unfortunately, because I'm human, there's a part of me that was like, he, karma. But on the other end, I had to be like, okay, wait. I may not like her all that much, but does she actually deserve what's coming to her? Like, does she actually deserve this? Like, did she actually set herself up for failure? And I keep hearing it. I keep hearing Diane come in and saying, she didn't uphold her promise. She said she'd be a housewife. She said she'd take care of the family. She said that this search for fame was over. And she has literally backtracked on every promise that she made. And I keep hearing that if Meghan Markle wants to write anything that's going on right now, she's going to have to literally keep the promises she made. And I don't even know what the promises she made are. I have no idea what they're referencing to, but this is just something that I keep hearing from the other side of like, she needs to keep her promises. She made promises to certain people before they passed or before she got married or, in prayer or whatever else. And she's not upholding her promises. And the people on the other side took those promises very seriously. And you're seeing what happens if you don't uphold those promises. You will not be successful. So, and the Drew Barrymore show, like if Meghan Markle's own show didn't expose her at all, the Drew Barrymore show literally was the harpoon that exploded the balloon. The entire time, I love Drew. Okay, I love Drew Barrymore. However, there is something about actors and actresses that you need to be aware. They wear their emotions in their eyes. Okay, you can look at the smile, you can look at the body language all you want. The eyes are a dead giveaway. And unless they're looking directly at the camera and they're acting through their eyes, their normal personality is in their eyes. Throughout Drew Barrymore's show, you could see it in Drew's eyes where she was just like, no, like you are so fake. You are like, and Drew knows fake. Drew knows, if there's anybody that knows Hollywood fake, ooh, Drew knows Hollywood fake. And to see that look on Drew's face, it was one of those reality checking moments for me where I was just like, well, I knew Meghan Markle was fake, but Drew can't even hide. Drew can't even cover it. That's bad. That is telling, and that is bad. So my advice to Meghan Markle is literally call it quits. Stop. You're not even ahead. And do damage control. Do what you can. You're going to have to hide. I would literally, if I was her, I would hide away on this. Hopefully, if her little jar jam making, I can't call it jam because it's not half sugar, preserve, whatever that the fruit thing that we're not allowed to call preserves or jam or whatever for whatever legality reasons, that because this is such a big deal. Anyway, if I was her, I would literally step off, focus on that, focus on the honey, actually have a honey farm, actually do that, and then and push the product. And once the product became popular, then step out of the limelight. Do I think she's going to do this? No. Do I think those jams or preserves or honey are actually hers? No. And I'm trying not to be rude, but no, I don't. I knowing what I know of Meghan Markle, she's not the type of person who's going to be spending the extra time that she has working on a jam. Okay. Anyway, so that's my opinion on that. And then this, okay, so I'm just going to say this, and this is just unfortunately how it's going to be. For all the questions in regarding to Blake Lively, from her situation with Ryan Reynolds to her situation with Andrew Kendrick to her situation with Justin Baldon, I am going to tell you this right now. Karmic hammers come in 3. They always come in 3s. The fact that there's 3 things going on right now, they're on the forefront. Taylor Swift, you are smart. I will get into that. But just understand 2 things can be right at the same time. So can 3 things. So can 4 things. Anna Kendrick is not that much different than Blake Lively. I want, like, if any of you are actually curious, I want you to go back to the Taylor Swift Bad Blood video. See how the sides are divided. There's a reason the video was divided like that. Pay attention. And now look at where we are so far in the future. There's a lot of keys. There's a lot of Easter eggs. There's a lot of exposing that was done in that Bad Blood video. That truth always prevails, always. And that little briefcase of secrets. Yeah. So in regards to all of that, just know that Blake is on a karmic hammer hit. That is a 3-level compilation. Somebody must have cursed her with the law of 3 times 3, because literally that is what I see coming at her, is a 3-fold of just, yeah, it's going to be a 1-2 punch, and it's going to take her out. And first of all, Ryan Reynolds is smart to have stepped away from her at that premiere. No, his career is not going to survive this. Eventually, he is going to go down, but he can prolong it by distancing himself from Blake Lively. Taylor Swift, you saved yourself. Literally, from what I can see on most things, Taylor Swift has saved herself. You cut, changed, turned, took right at the right time. So from what I can see, Taylor, even if she gets deposed, even in depositions, even in discovery, if that does end up happening with Taylor Swift, she's going to have the ability and the say-so and the kindness of the other side to be able to maybe mitigate what is public information and what is not. Up until, I want to say up until March 1st or March 5th, about time, that wasn't the case. Since then, it has shifted. And I didn't want to say anything until now because I wanted to make sure that this was like a permanent shift and not just a moon back and forth thing that constantly happens usually with women, because we are ruled by the moon, aren't we, ladies? So there is all of that. And just know that most people that are against, this is the easiest way to put it, anybody who's fighting against Blake Lively is on the positive side of karma. Anybody who is standing on Blake Lively's team is on the negative side of karma. And depending on how close you are to her, that's how quickly the hit will hit you. So that's why I said it was smart for Ryan Reynolds to just kind of step away. This happens. Guilty by association not only applies in court, guys. So that is that little rant on the Hollywood energy types and what I see in my predictions in the future. We're going to jump into another 20 minutes right here. And then after that, I am going to cover horoscopes. So yeah. And also, if there's anybody who's interested, just know, you're going to think, for any of my writer friends, my writing community out there, you guys are going to think I'm insane. AI, I unfortunately allowed an AI to edit my book. Upon going back and reading it, I've just decided that rewriting it is going to be my best bet. So I don't know how much of them I'm going to have to rewrite, but just know that when it comes to my book, it looks like I'm going to have to rewrite it because AI just, yeah, don't trust Grammarly. That's all I'm going to say. Don't trust the Grammarly ever to edit for you. Just don't. All right. And on that note, 20 minutes on the clock. Oh, I might have to slide it back over. So 20 minutes on the clock, and I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. All right. In 3, 2, 1. And don't forget. Right. And that's the end of that sprint. And first, before I start butting heads with Amy, I'm going to, first of all, before I butt heads with Amy, we're going to do a couple announcements and a couple of other things. First, I want to say thank you to the replay crew. I see you guys come back. I do really appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe and leave comments. It does help. Truthfully, if the channel doesn't take off this year, we'll be changing focus to find a full-time job. So if you guys want to keep me around, share the channel, like and subscribe and everything else. So we'll go from there. The next thing we've got is just remember on Monday coming up. I'm going to go grab this. So you guys, I'm going to do a little teaser. So hold on. We're going to be sampling some things. So not only do I have some samples to do, and I'll show you guys, I'll show this off a little bit because I showed it off earlier. And yeah, so first we've got a Cosmopolitan made with vodka and triple sec. And if you notice, it's orange. It also has gummy bears in it that you probably can't see too well, but they're in there and they've been in there for like 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens. Okay. The next thing we've got is green. Check it out, green. Look at that green. And this is a margarita mix with tequila and triple sec. And these both are 40 proof. No, I think, yes. Both of those are 40 proof. Then I've got the espresso martini made with vodka and espresso coffee liqueur, which is also 40%, which we're going to be trying. And then we have the 70 proof old fashioned made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey and bitters. So I will be sampling and trying those for our St. Patrick's Day stream. So for those of you that love Drunk Kibby, you are going to get Drunk Kibby, and we're going to celebrate. And Jack Byron Wrights, who is in Ireland, will be finishing up his party weekend with us. So he will be basically sobering up to go to bed while I get drunk. And just so you know, that stream is at 12 p.m. our time because they are, I believe, 7 to 8 hours ahead of us. So I wanted to catch him at the end of his day, and I don't mind drinking it till it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So that's coming up. And then we have our Ostara celebration coming up at the end of this month. We have the Beltane celebration coming in April. Then we have my rebirth celebration on May 5th with Cinco de Mayo. For those of you that don't know, I did die in 2017, crossed over for 1 minute and 6 seconds, came back, and yeah, I've been on a journey, and part of that's going to be shared in my Psycho to Psychic series, which is coming soon. But Cinco de Mayo, we're going to be doing the same thing with drinks and quizzes and trivia. And if I can get it in time, drunk Jenga, because that will be fun. So, and we'll see who we can get on the live with me. And then after that, we have June, the Littlest celebration. I need to talk with Cora because Lottie... We got to figure it out because the stuff we were going to cover for Lottie, it's zoomed by with discovery trials and everything. Like the case that we thought we were going to launch with in April, it might be shut down by the time April comes around with everything that's going on. So I need to touch base with Cora to figure out when we are doing this. So Lottie is coming, but it's kind of, we got to figure it out. We've got to figure out what we're doing and where we're going with it. We need to, yeah. We got to figure it because I did not expect the Kohlberger stuff to go by so fast and the changes to happen so fast in that case. And I did not expect the changes to happen so fast in the Karen Reed case. And those were both the trials that we were going to launch with. And now they're both, it's so yeah. Gotta love court, gotta love law, gotta love how quickly things pick up and change because, you know, no lawyer wants to be in trial during the vacationary times, you know, October to December. So okay, and then again, thank you again to my replay crew. I love you guys. On that note, I'm going to jump into this. Okay, Amy, I'm going to butt heads with you. We're going to butt heads. I love my clients, but at the same time, I'm not going to BS you. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. We now have 4 different ways of confirmation in this. So you ready? Because you said, is there other ways I can get confirmation than just the cards? Yes. Yes, there is. Okay, so you asked for it. We have our Love Oracle cards. Okay. You got the Karma card. Literally. Be mindful of karma. There is something untoward on one side of this that could bring about negative results. Venus is in retrograde. Stop trying to start a love relationship during Venus retrograde. We're going to butt heads on this. Next thing was our blocks. Okay. I got more than one tool, girl. Been doing this for a while. We've got our block. You got this one, which is the gift. Good news is coming. Coming. Not here. Not in the present. Is coming. Future. Future tense. Okay. Third, we've got our ruin stones. Okay. You've got your first stone. Peace and plenty. Okay. You've got your second stone. Loyalty and pilgrimages. And you've got your final stone. Strength and courage. Okay. No, you're not supposed to start a relationship yet. You're supposed to try and find strength and courage in your loyalty and pilgrimage of being single. Okay. Last but not least, Oracle book. We did it twice for you because the first one cracked me up because I was like, she's not going to accept that as an answer. So your first one was an old friend wants to hear from you. Call them up and share a happy memory with them. And you're like, I don't want a friend. That's why I knew that you were not going to accept that answer. So I did it again. The next one we got was wear a ring on your little finger to improve your communication. In other words, that's your angel's polite way of saying, stop asking the same question. You repeating the same thing, expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So stop it. So Joshua, what am I doing when what do I sell? What all do I sell? I'm a psychic. I don't really sell anything. I deliver messages for people, but because there is energy that has to be used in order for me to do it, along with knowledge and gifts, which same as doctor and lawyer, I do need to charge for them. So that's why we have the banner down below if you would like a reading. I checked your page. You need some merchandise. My merchandise is me helping people. The Kicking It with Kitty caboodle has bunny ears that doubled as a scarf. That's actually really cute, Joshua. But it would be a little bit odd for my clients to see me in a hoodie with bunny ears. Don't get me wrong. They wouldn't put it past me. I doubt any of them, probably Cora and Sandy are giggling right now, and any of my clients that are listening to this in the future, because you guys could totally see me in a hooded bunny ears. However, is that something I would actually sell on my no. If I end up doing anything, what I would end up doing is a subscription box that not only has wiki stuff, but also pertains to the novel that I'm working on, which actually is an idea I have in the future, but one thing at a time. We just now turned full focus to the YouTube channel at the beginning of this year. It depends on how this year goes. If my channel takes off and you guys subscribe and you like what you see and we go, I can, unfortunately, realistic of it, I can make enough money so I can not have to get a real job. I'll be, maybe we'll have some future merchandise in the launch. Don't get me wrong. I got plenty of ideas. This creative little brain has 101,000 ideas for merchandise. Is it possible to get it off the ground right now? No, money is required. I do love Trump's little argument of he's going to have for Americans to have more money in their pocket than they know what to do with, because yes, there's so much I would launch if I could. So, yeah. So me doing my psychic work is my business right now. Long story short, I was in Virginia and I was doing really well and I had my own life. My mom and my grandfather, who is 98 years old next month, they weren't doing too well. My mom needed back surgery. My grandfather is 6'3" and 100 and something pounds. My mom is 5'4" and like $120. They needed my help, and they have like a 2,400 square foot house with a yard. Snow plowing and everything else was getting difficult because they live in Spokane. So they asked me to come back and come home to work from home and help them out. And I have no problem doing that. You know, when the family calls, you come. So I moved back here, but finding a job here in Spokane, the employment is not there's not a lot of employment available here. In order for me to get a job, I'd have to probably go to Coeur d'Alene in Idaho. And my grandfather doesn't want me an hour and a half away. He said the reason that you're home is to be home. So we're trying to figure it out. Hopefully the job market, A, will change and I can actually find a job around here, or B, what I really want to happen is my YouTube channel will take off. I can start helping tons of people and making enough money to actually be able to put away for retirement. So that's my hope. That's my dream. It's my wish. Do our dreams and wishes come true these days in reality? Not likely, not truly, but I'm hoping that either A, the change in the market helps and I'm able to find an actual job around here, or B, my channel takes off. One way or another, I'm not giving up and I'm going to keep working. And then I have my book in the background, which is also, and that is why up here, I'm going to go back up here. The "oh damn" quote that Cora added is, I was talking to a publisher and I was actually looking at submitting my book to be published after talking to them for like an hour about it. That's why I went back to read it, because I was going to read it one time over before I sent it to the publisher. And that's when I realized I can't send this to the publisher. The Grammarly AI completely screwed everything up. So that's also why I'm rewriting my book, because I did get an offer for a publishing deal and I can't send it. I can't send it. So it's one of those things where I'm like, fine, I'm just going to go full force and everything this year and we'll go from there. So DJ Kibby, get down and get a reading. It's funny because if you were watching me on TikTok earlier, I was singing like crazy, because that's what I do when I sit here and work and do things as I work. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to jump into this. And hello, Carl. It's nice to meet you. Hello from the UK. Oh, wow. Hello from the other side of the United States. We are quite a ways away from the other side of the pond. That is awesome. Well, welcome to my live stream. I'm glad you're here. So we're going to jump into horoscopes. So the way I do this real quick is, number one, just so you know, I do ignore comments as I go through the horoscopes, because I connect to the angels that I attune to when I do the horoscopes. I have several angels on the other side that are each actually the birth sign of what's coming up, and there is a correlation there that I have found. Also, with reading birth charts and everything else on several of my websites, I meditate and come up with the horoscopes. So I start with Aries, then I go all the way through to the end. I usually leave Scorpio for last because I am a Scorpio and my angels tend to throw in messages at me, and it's just easier for me to leave Scorpio to the end. That way, if they have any messages to throw in, they can do it and it doesn't discombobulate me for everyone else. Okay. So we're going to start with Wednesday, since we're just going to go back over the energies that were of today, so you can have a little bit of confirmation as to whether or not you are on aligning with things or not. And then we're going to go over Thursdays and Fridays for you. Okay. So let me get comfortable with my coffee. Oh, and I just wanted to show this off. This is my I don't know, what do you call it? The hot pad for my cup. I found this at an old antique store and I absolutely love it. So the Freemasons, gotta love. I love the Freemasons for their artistic and imagination and everything else, not for any political, controversial conspiracy stuff. Anyway, so Aries. We've got, today was reassessing past situations with attention and detail, strong emotions and decision-making abilities with clarity of obligations and meanings of oneself. Into Thursday, we're going to have positive and harmonious energies with renewed perspectives, improving and adjusting energies, especially in work and projects, continued forward-looking and forward-moving possibilities with positive energies and excitement and new beginnings. The lunar eclipse influence is going to cause a balance of work and personal energies to be offset. It's going to be a challenge to try to mitigate the energies of Friday when to start for you, Aries, okay? Challenging and realizing energies in unfinished business and unattended to matters, demanding and overwhelming energies in the work department, especially renewing and charging advancing energies with motivating energies for positive change by the end of day for you, Aries. So basically, everything's lighting a fire under your butt. Okay, for Aries, that's basically what's happening Thursday, Friday. Use it to your advantage. Don't let it overwhelm you. Focus on what you can control, not on what you can't, and use the energies to push forward in positive projects only, okay? For Tauruses, today was about responsibility and obligations. You had strong energies and hopes and dreams with an authoritative and indecisive type energies come in the afternoon. There was a focus on what you can control, not on what you can't type of day, right? So into Thursday, you've got to focus on hopes and dreams and happiness with an problem solving and inspiring type energies. Into the midday, you've got creative and socializing energies with focus on projects in the future. This is a good time for planning and preparing, especially before the planets go into retrograde by the end of the day. Well, the planets don't go into the retrograde by the end of the day, but you've got the right energies to make sure that your plans during retrograde will be good. Yeah. It's hard to say. It's hard to clarify. On to Friday, you've got scattered but revolutionary type energies. The lunar influences are on eliminating past experiences, especially in romance. Don't let Venus retrograde trick you. Use this time to gather information versus starting a new relationship. You're going to have a strong pull towards love, Taurus, especially in intimate relationship sectors, but you're not bad time. Just keep it in the forefront of your mind that even though it's nice to watch, it's nice to have fun and interact with, not the best time to actually start the relationship, okay? For my Geminis, okay, so my Geminis, I'm going to say this as kindly as I can. Friday was a little bit hard for me to explain for you because basically you're going to be, I'm going to say, please don't take this the wrong way to all my Geminis because you guys are sensitive. You're going to be a narcissist on Friday, okay? Just be aware of it. On Wednesdays, you have incredibly strong energies in reputation and responsibilities. Clarity is overwhelming, especially in past unattuned to responsibilities. Reevaluating, reexamining, and judgmental type energies, especially of yourself, comes in by end of day. Tomorrow, you've got releasing, renewing, and letting go type of energies with insightful and flexible perspectives. With an underlying organization to business and social sectors. Wisdom-based and intuitive type problem-solving energies come in by end of day. On Friday, career and life direction come into focus. It's going to be a slow down to speed up kind of day. Your energies are going to be scattered, overwhelming, unbalanced. You're just going to be your own worst enemy on Friday. They're referencing that stubborn, resisting, and ego-centered energies come in for the entire day and are the underlying factor to all of the frustrations. So the less ego you can have on Friday, Geminis, the better day you will have. Slow down to speed up, and you don't always have to be right, okay? For my Cancers, today we had accountability and reassessing type energies with reorganizing and prioritizing with an underlining realigning in goals and long-term plans. You had good self-discipline when needed. However, this is kind of going to change as we move into Thursday. Strong conversational and communication type energies in friendships and acquaintances with an underlying pull for improvements and aspirations. You've got strong mental energies with the ability to be clear, the ability for clarity and discovery, and a push. Strong mental energies with the ability for clarity and discoveries and a need to push forward by end of day. Sometimes I just need to read it as I have it written instead of trying to listen to them as they're saying it to me. On Friday, we've got epiphanies and revelation type energies with projects with an underlying energy of helpfulness. Focus on travel and new connections does come in by midday, and this is a good time for acquiring and storing new information, especially about travel and long-term plans. Not the best time for action. It's kind of like when I focused on this type of energy for Cancers, it was one of those things where well, you know how you start planning a Disney trip for like 2 years in advance? That's kind of what we're talking about here. So that should give you a general idea of what you're kind of dealing with on Friday, Cancers. For my Leos, focus on neglected areas, especially in intimate and financial sectors, comes in today. Find strength in your bubble because you've got overwhelming and burdensome energies that come into the afternoon. Try to find the balance between your mind, your heart, and your body. On Thursdays, tomorrow, you've got overwhelming positive energies, which is a good thing because you're going to need it. You have the ability to cast judgment aside with a creative and happiness undertone, especially in the fourth, especially for... That doesn't mean I'm going to read this how I have it written, and we're going to see if it makes sense. And if not, I'm going to reword it. Ability to cast judgment aside with creative and happiness on the forefront of thought, with underlying attraction to rare and unique. That does make sense, doesn't it? Positive problem-solving communication energies with a focus on the intimate sector. It's a good time to conclude any long-standing arguments with partnerships. And just know, Danielle, if you're listening, your angels were screaming at me that especially with earth signs. So, Danielle, if you have anything going on, use Thursday to your advantage. On Friday, you've got intense emotions in possessions and resources with a need for improvements in overall security and home. You've got restless, anxiety-filled emotions, especially in finance and money, again, into the afternoon. So, yeah, Leos, just be aware you're going to be stressing about money. And this has to do with the lunar influence. So just know that it's going to increase for you just into Saturday, Sunday, because it's going to take a couple of days for the lunar effect to wear off. Virgos. Wednesday, we've got focused and judgmental energies, especially in goal and commitments. Unpredictable and unstable energies today with decision-making and judgmental energies into the afternoon, especially in communications. Into tomorrow, we've got prompt, urgent energies and romance and emotional needs. A central focus on what is being satisfied is going to come to attention. Clarity, curiosity, and the willingness to change, especially in business and communications, comes in by midday. Strong forward-moving energies with the harmonizing mind, mind-opening experiences does come in by end of day. On Friday, you have epiphany and awakening type energies with a strong, overwhelming emotions, especially in the personal relationship fronts. Virgos, for the next 2 days, you're going to be reassessing your relationships. Just know that, okay? Focus on reinventing and re-strategizing comes in, but use this to plan, not act. And when I mean reassessing relationships, I don't just mean romance ones. I mean business, work, personal, social, friendship, all of it. All of the above, all the relationships you're going to be having. This lunar eclipse for you Virgos is just clarity on where you stand in all aspects of every relationship, okay? Use it to your advantage. Libras. Reassessing, reevaluating energies have been the name of the game today. Magnified focus on unfinished business with clarity and priorities and with a serious undertone. Into Thursday, you're going to have withdrawn and restless type energies with resting type energies with a restless mind. For some of my Libras, this is torture. So just be aware that your mind is going to be going 100 miles a minute, but your body's going to be wanting to rest. Revolutionary and awakening type energies come in midday. Keep to the positive side of thinking for breakthroughs to even occur tomorrow. Okay. For Friday, you've got pressure to find balance between your work and home with disrupting and scattered energies that come in midday with restful and reflection-oriented energies underlying each emotion. That is going to be rough for my Libras. Energies in past and unresolved issues comes to the forefront by midday or by end of day. So Libras, just be kind to yourself these next couple days. It's going to be rough emotionally and physically. Okay, you're getting bombarded by some bad energies. So you're not going to handle it well. Self-soothe, self-distract, bubble baths, spa day, take yourself out for lunch, ignore everyone, hide in your bubble, do your thing. Okay, Libras. For my Sagittariuses, you've got magnification in home and personal life with the ability to gain a balanced perspective. You've had very productive and organizing energies, especially a predominant need to get back on track. Thursday, you've got focus on home and family security, especially with the ability to approach situations with renewed perspectives. Harmonious connecting energies comes in midday, especially in domestic activities. Strong intuition and forward-moving energies by the end of day. Sagittarius is you guys just have good energies. I was kind of jealous of you. Unresolved past issues come in on Friday with a focus with this lunar eclipse. Recognition and appreciation type energies do come in, especially in the work sector, and this can stir up the need for change. Attention type energies on responsibilities and problems, especially in neglected areas of your life, comes into focus by end of day. Sagittarius, this is just a good time for you to reassess and realign yourself with everything. Like, are you going to, are you on the right career path? Are you on the right social path? Are you on the right, just reassess to make sure you're on the right paths. And if not, it might be time for change, but wait until the next full moon. Capricorns. Today, you've had strong, serious energies in communications and networking, frustrating and irritating energies, especially in overwhelming emotions, came in by midday. Your words have staying power to that today, so use them to your advantage. Detach by the end of day if need be, because overwhelming emotional energies will continue through. On Thursday, you've got positive personal pressures with underlying creativity energies. Positive planning and progressive energies with strong and defined thought processes come in midday. Open-minded and connecting type energies with the ability to experiment with confidence. So to my Capricorns, you guys often stay in your little bubbles. Thursday may be that day to kind of poke your head out and see if changing things up actually does help. Okay. Friday, you've got past unresolved issues comes into the forefront, but you've got the ability to attend to them. Surface level and impatient energies do come up midday, but you're learning with you have the ability to learn with an introspective perspective. Especially in learning and projects. Use this to your advantage to get clarity on any unresolved issues from your past and to be able to move forward into the future. So Capricorns, you guys are going to have the power on your side to let go. If there's anybody that I recommend doing a full moon ritual of rebirth, renewal, letting go of past, binding up loose ends, I highly recommend my Capricorns to do it. Okay. You're going to actually have the lunar moon, the lunar eclipse energy on your side. And that's just because of where you sit in the chart. Lucky bastards. All right. Into Aquarius, we've got responsibility and obligations and financials come into focus with a handle of maturity with the ability to handle it with maturity. That's what I was trying to say. Slow and steady to succeed. Worry-filled, frustrating energies with heavy emotional energies comes in by end of day. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Keep your mind kind of middle type of day today. Into Thursday for my Aquariuses, we've got security-oriented energies with a focus in money and personal life. Revolutionary and visualizing type energies comes in halfway through the day with fresh, reinvigorating and inspiring type energies, especially in the ability to gain interactions and perspectives by end of day. On Friday, you've got focus on personal comfort comes in with awareness on your reality and an actual check and acknowledgement in ownership and financial details. Divided energies in your resource sector with a lack of support from friends can come in. Be sure that you're paying attention to your emotions and that you're identifying what your needs are. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, keep your mind in the middle. So that is going to be your model for the next couple of days, Aquarius, okay? For my Pisces, you've had strong negative mental energies today with a difficulty in balancing or getting clarity in responsibilities in home. They've been discouraging and stifling type energies with the ability to see your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities. This has not been a good day for you, Pisces, okay? Just know this is going to continue. Revolutionizing, no. Revealing and releasing type energies, especially through communications, comes in for you on Thursdays, Pisces. Sorry, my mom's a Pisces, and I'm getting a lot of messages for my mom right now. And yeah, anyway, perspectives with balance and harmonious energies comes in for you midday. Solutions and problem-solving energies with attention to details and duties with an underlying tone of duties and responsibilities by end of day. On Fridays, my Pisces are going to find it unbalanced and overwhelming energies, focused on agenda and perspectives. Increased positive energies do come in friendships and engagements. So rely on your friends tomorrow if you need to, Pisces, okay? Revelations and epiphanies are possible with highly revealing conversations by end of day. Hence the reason that if you need to, Pisces, rely on your friends, because whatever that problem is that you're trying to figure out, communications with your friends might just be able to help you figure it out. Okay, and for my Scorpios, for my fellow Scorpios, we have a strong ability to see different views and perspectives, especially in our personal and love lives. Reassessing, reevaluating energies came into midday with overwhelming, magnified negative energies into the afternoon. A focus on reorganizing and restructuring of business and work comes in end of day. On to Thursday, we've got impulsive, dreamy, and idealistic energies that start. Watch for overexpending and exuberant expulsions of energy. Strong energies and self-expression and connection come in midday with approved attention to detail in projects and being able to use creative energies and refreshing insight for new projects. So if you have anything and projects, Scorpios, if you have any projects that have been on the back burner, tomorrow's going to be the day to pull them out. Friday, you have this. I was so upset about this, but because I hate drama. However, there are some Scorpios that like drama. Friday, drama-filled energies in friendships, relationships, and social sector comes in. Understanding and revolutionary type of energies with a focus on the long-term plan become in midday. Disruptive, isolating, and intuitive type energies, especially in the negative, come in by end of day. So Friday, I highly recommend by the end of the day for all my Scorpios to hide. Okay. This lunar eclipse, for if you were listening, is creating kind of a negative arc for most of us on Fridays. Sagittariuses and Leos were pretty much the only ones that seem to have really good energies. The fire signs, I was noticing air signs seem to have it worse. Fire signs seem to have it the best. And that makes sense considering how scattered the energies are, because air, you can't hold on to anything. Earth signs tend to have a little bit of grounding to them. Water, at least there's something to float in. And fire signs, they run with this energy. It's chaos to them is organized. So these kind of scattered energies and the way we're all over the place with things right now actually reflect exactly in the horoscopes and what I'm seeing in the charts for everybody. This is also why I wanted to cover the sextiles, because the sextiles really are. Why did I close that out? Because I have my moments. The sextiles have really been affecting a lot of the personal influences, including shining Sun conjunction with Saturn and shining a light on responsibilities, all the way down to Mercury's conjunction with Venus and conversation, then thoughts and romance and intimate sectors, to revolutionary enlightenment with processing information, with the Sun sextile with Uranus. So it's very clear that the next couple days we are being highly influenced by the sextiles and the trends that are going on. And that's not usually something I see, is that strong of an influence of these. But again, we're also at the midpoint of Pisces Sun, and we've got our lunar eclipse coming in. So, and we're about to go, in 2 days, we're going to have 2 planets in retrograde. So deep breaths, just deep breaths, everybody. So Benjamin came in with a bunch of stuff. You could be handy too. I don't do palmistry. I actually can't read palms. That is the craft that I have tried. There's not much I can't do when it comes to this craft. Palmistry is one of those. It doesn't make sense for me. Like, I can't. I don't know. I've tried the rationality of it. Palmistry, numerology, and astrology. Numerology, I do. Sing the songs I am using different instruments. They say that these hands got the numbers to make you see the stars. You know, I got ex-girlfriends who would say the same thing. Anyway, there's your one-liner. You probably been waiting for that, Joshua. You've been waiting for those one-liners. Well, there's your one-liner. But that is the end of our stream. I have been sitting here talking for 2.5 hours. I think that's long enough for a live stream. For anybody who's interested, I have started streaming the behind the scenes of what I do for my live streams on TikTok. I'm going to try to start doing it on the regular. We'll see what happens. But for everyone else, to all my clients, thank you so much for your questions. Go ahead and send me more. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, if they're generalized questions regarding stuff in social, in the socials of the socials, I'm more than happy to answer your questions. If they are personal questions, that's when that stuff down below applies. Because it's a lot harder to dive into personal energies than to tap into the over arcs of everything that's going on in the world. Anyway, and besides, you can't be blind to the energies of things that are going on right now. You really can't. You don't need to be a psychic to see the changes. So on that note, if you have a glass with you, raise it up for our cheers out of our wonderful live stream. So, on a quick note, I always do this, don't I? Yes, I do. On a quick note, I was able to get the full upload and everything else for the Book of Shadows video that is coming. I have one coming that is just the background. It's like a 10-minute do-it-yourself video. The other one is in actual progress, page by page of my Book of Shadows. So those are coming. So to everyone, may your angels be strong. May your energies be positive, and may karma be ever in your favor. And I, KibbyRose, will see you guys next time.